On February 23, 2008, Guam woke under a heavy, wet sky, the Pacific's humidity wrapping itself around every palm frond, seeping into every seam and joined across Andersen Air Force Base. Out on the runway, B-2 Spirit tail number 890127, nicknamed Spirit of Kansas, stood poised for departure on a long journey home to Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. Two seasoned pilots, Major Ryan Link and Captain Justin Grieve, had completed their pre-flight rituals. The twin General Electric F-118 engines snarled to life, and the charcoal gray flying wing began its deliberate roll toward takeoff. No one could have foreseen that within moments, one of America's most potent symbols of air power would be reduced to a burning carcass on the very tarmac it sought to leave behind. Tropical moisture had silently invaded the aircraft's pitot tubes and static pressure sensors, the eyes of its fly-by-wire flight control system. Skewed readings of airspeed and angle of attack convinced onboard computers that all conditions were nominal. In reality, the instant the landing gear left the ground, Spirit of Kansas was already deep into aerodynamic stall. The left wing dropped, scraping the runway in a shower of sparks as composite skin and titanium spars tore under the load. The pilots hauled back on the stick, but the bomber's vast mass and hostile airflow made recovery impossible. The B-2 rolled further left, slammed back onto the runway, broke apart, and erupted in fire. Black smoke billowed upward, the stench of burning fuel filling the air. Both crewmen ejected into the maelstrom, one suffering a spinal injury, but survived. The aircraft, valued at $1.4 billion, was a total loss, the costliest accident in U.S. Air Force history. Investigators determined that moisture-induced sensor errors had caused the flight control system to miscommand the control surfaces, leaving them set in a configuration that robbed the wings of lift at the critical moment of rotation. There were no catastrophic mechanical failures otherwise, but maintenance and pre-flight inspection protocols for tropical climates were judged inadequate. The entire B-2 fleet was grounded for inspections, and procedures were revised to better protect sensors from environmental intrusion. Still, the strategic setback was immediate. Losing one aircraft meant a 5% reduction in a fleet that numbered only 21. To grasp why, even after such a very public fall, the B-2 Spirit remains a U.S. national treasure. One must look back at the campaigns where it proved its worth beyond measure. Its combat debut came in 1999 during Operation Allied Force over Yugoslavia. Flying round trips of over 30 hours from Missouri to Europe, B-2s slipped through dense air defense networks to strike command centers, arms depots, and critical bridges in Belgrade and beyond. Their stealth allowed them to drop JDM precision weapons with near-surgical accuracy, helping to bring Belgrade to the negotiating table. In 2001, during Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, B-2s launched from the continental United States, flew directly to Central Asia to strike Taliban and al-Qaeda targets, then landed at Diego Garcia for crew change before heading home. Their ability to remain airborne for such extended missions, carrying up to 40,000 pounds of ordnance, allowed them to hit deeply buried or remote positions in the opening days of the war. By 2003, in Operation Iraqi Freedom, B-2s were the spearhead of the shock and awe campaign. They destroyed hardened bunkers, underground command posts, and airfields, paving the way for coalition forces to advance rapidly on Baghdad. Again, stealth and intercontinental reach proved decisive. In 2011, B-2s flew from Missouri to North Africa in excess of 25 hours to eliminate Libyan air defenses and runways, opening the door for NATO aircraft to operate unopposed. More recently, they have struck Islamic State positions in Syria, showing that even after decades in service, the B-2 remains the phantom over the horizon no adversary can comfortably ignore. These operations are more than combat sorties, they are strategic statements. The B-2 is not merely a bomber, it is a tool of deterrence, a standing warning that the United States can reach any point on the globe undetected. Each mission broadcasts the depth of America's technological mastery, logistical muscle, and strategic will. And that is why, though Spirit of Kansas met a fiery end on Andersen's runway, the B-2 endures as a national treasure. Its value is not bound up in composite panels, engines, or electronics, but in its capacity to alter the balance of battle and to embody a doctrine of global reach and near-invisible might. Yet the tragedy of February 23, 2008, is a scar, A reminder that even apex machines can be felled by something as small and merciless as moisture in a sensor port. That morning on Guam, through smoke, fire, and twisted wreckage, the limits of human power were on display. Spirit of Kansas did not just strike the ground. It fell into history as a somber chapter where ambition and technology met the fragile realities of nature and fate.